Arena War, the game mode with the most wasted potential. On December 11th of 2018, Rockstar dropped the Arena War update, which introduced new missions taking place inside of the Maze Bank Arena in Los Santos. At that time, players were looking forward to some type of event that would utilize the stadium that had just been sitting there since launch, only to be used very briefly in a story mission. Unfortunately, what was delivered was not up to par for seemingly a myriad of reasons. From the pricing of all the items within the update to the overall execution of the idea, it flat out fell on its face and unfortunately became the most disliked update within the GTA community. Now, I'm not trying to pile on and just say it's terrible. It definitely has some great things about it, which I will go over first. Then, I'll go over some small changes that Rockstar can actually go back and make even this late in the game's lifespan to help resurrect it from the dead. So, before we get to the biggest issues, let's look at what Arena War did right. The presentation and atmosphere of Arena War is actually one of the best in the game. The music in the lobby while waiting for the game to start is unique and has its own feel. It's got a welcome to an event of champions feel. The atmosphere while playing the game modes themselves is also like none other. You have announcers with some pretty funny dialogue and fans reacting to all the action and carnage that's taking place. In team game modes, you see the stands completely filled in sections wearing one of the team's colors. It gives off the feel of playing a sport at the highest level and having thousands come to watch you, with many more watching at home on television. This is the only time in the game that your character is actually in the world spotlight. All eyes are on you. The game modes, in my opinion, weren't bad either. Of course, some were much better than others, and some might need a few tweaks to make it more balanced, but the games were actually really fun overall. Carnage is a straight demolition derby in which everyone can agree is a lot of fun. Here Comes the Monsters is another excellent one that can have everyone on the edge of their seat as the monsters try to hunt down the last Issy in the final seconds. Bomb Ball puts a deadly spin on soccer by being a less acrobatic but more destructive version of Rocket League. Wreck-It is a wild death race where the traps change each lap and you can choose to either cross the finish line or take out all of your rival competitors and be the sole survivor. Flag War is an explosive version of Capture the Flag. Hot Bomb is a high-speed game of hot potato. Tag Team is a demolition derby with a fun twist of having teammates in the spectator box use weapons to help you out, and you can tag them in if your vehicle takes too much damage. Buzzer Beater is a survival race where you must keep getting checkpoints and perform stunts along the way to add time to your clock. Game Masters is a real fun and unique offense versus defense type of game. One team starts on offense in the arena and has to work together to grab as many checkpoints as possible, and another team must use the weapons in the spectator box to stop them. Oh, and whatever happened, you get to get revenge immediately because you then switch places. All of these modes were fun, even though admittedly the death bike was stronger than it should have been in a couple modes. They weren't bad, but just a lot of people would load in and have no clue what they were doing and just think they're supposed to destroy everything that moves, even if it's their own team. You can't fix stupid, so we'll move on to another thing that the Arena War did right, which is actually the garage. That whole customizable garage suite area is one of the best in the game. You have 27 spots for cars and 3 spots for a Cerberus. You want to fill it with Benny's vehicles that you can customize without having to drive out? You can. You want to customize Mark II weapons? You can do that too. Want an RC car to go troll people? Awesome, this is where you're going to go. The upper floor of the living quarters is also cool as it has your entire Arena War career stats and progress on a board. The trophies and trinkets that start to rack up with all of your accomplishments is just so fitting to that area. It's a very nice atmospheric touch for an update that's about becoming a celebrity athlete with all of your endorsements and growing fame. These good things I've mentioned are what I believe was the foundation of the update itself. So far, I've covered how it gets out of the garage and down the street. Now, I'll have to cover how it ran a red light, got hit by a truck, spun off the road, and flew into a ditch upside down before bursting into flames. The first issue with Arena War from the get-go was the cost of everything. Everything but the Arena Workshop could be bought for a ridiculous price that could be made cheaper, but only by random chance. The cost just to be competitive in Arena War was astronomically high in that time. Newer players without much money didn't stand a chance in hell in most modes because the default vehicles didn't have any weapons they could use. They were shut out of being able to be competitive and have some fun. Even if you did have quite a bit of money, you still had to pay an obscene amount to customize or change your modifications pre-match. Even if you already bought it once, you had to buy it again. Sounds pretty bad, but the next part gets even worse. The pay is far too low for what you have to do just to participate. While it's not exactly a business and you wouldn't expect returns immediately, you do have to remember in the case of Arena War, you're basically an entertainer/athlete. They talk about sponsors and you're performing in front of a packed stadium with thousands if not millions more watching from home, in the universe of the game of course. Players should be compensated as such in GTA's overinflated universe. Your AP rank or sponsorship tier should have a monetary effect on how much you make, win or lose, which I'll talk about later and how things can be improved, and boy oh boy is there an issue with another type of ranking in the arena that's based on wins and losses. The skill level rank that can go up or down is terribly flawed. While there are only 20 rank levels in that system, getting higher is nearly impossible without your friends boosting you. You know you have to win 210 matches in a row to get that rank, right? Well, you can lose a few on the way, but you have to win twice as much to make up for it. The breakdown is this: you get 1 point for winning a match and you lose a point for losing a match. It gets worse once you get up to rank 11. From ranks 11 to 19, you now lose 2 points with every match, but still only gain 1 point when you win. Now, if you manage to hit rank 20, congratulations, you should retire on top like you're Peyton Manning, because now if you lose a match, you now go down 3 points. Every match a rank 20 player wins does not go any higher, so what's the point of continuing the game mode? There are far better ways to go about this system, and it certainly isn't the only one that made no sense at all. The unlock system is horrendous. Randomly unlocking something as you go up when the prize pool is that large was just trash, especially when the rank tops out at 1,000 and the AP grind isn't exactly the easiest to do. You're unfortunately better off spectating and spending the 5k on the wheel to hopefully land on the 250 AP spot. Honestly, with how this looked, they really tried to sneak in some type of pay to win strategy and did far more than shoot themselves in the foot. They amputated their own leg and fed it to some wolves. Spending time to level up only to unlock a stupid hat with a bunch of hot dogs on it at a cheaper price is a real slap in the face to everybody that was playing. Sure, maybe you get lucky and get one individual upgrade for a vehicle you may not own or even want in the first place, but that's thrown in too. You'd have thought they would have learned from the poor reception of the random unlocks in the gun running update, but they oddly decided to make a far worse version. This, with the previous flaws of too little pay, the cost to get anything in this update, and just how much of a grind it is to go up a sponsorship tier, were an absolute recipe for disaster. There is, however, an easy fix Rockstar could implement for these issues on their end this late in the game's lifespan. They did it in the Criminal Enterprises update last year, so I'd assume they could do it here too. So, what are these easy steps to fixing Arena Wars? Well, here's what I'm thinking can work. The first issue was the cost just to get started or even customize the vehicles. A good easy solution would be to have entire vehicles and their mods set to whatever the unlocked trade price is after you play a few rounds, or just get up to level 12 in AP points. One vehicle each level. So, let's say the first trade price you get is for the Impaler when you hit level 1 in points. You should also get its mods at the lower price. At level 2, another vehicle and all of its mods, and so on until they are all unlocked at much lower prices. To add on to this, for the people that don't own Arena War vehicles, equip the default ones with guns and the small ram or scoop that all the vehicles already have. They may not have much in terms of defense without armor upgrades, but they can darn sure at least put up a fight and win. This would improve people playing to win and encourage them to at least try all the game modes. It doesn't take much playing to reach that level, so everyone can get competitive with each other rather quickly than just being lucky enough to unlock something. Of course, even with the trade prices, these are still wildly expensive vehicles, so that goes into the next obvious fix. They need to crank that pay way up. It should sit at triple of what it is now as the base minimum, maybe even make it quadruple what it is now. Again, you're kind of a pro athlete, so you should be compensated as such in the universe of the game. Since your AP level is a thing that kind of acts like you're gaining sponsors, why not also add a multiplier for each AP level? It doesn't have to be huge since it goes up to rank 1000. Mathematically, pay could go up by only 0.1% by AP level, so that by the time that someone that really loves that mode reaches rank 1000, they would now earn double money for every match. Better athlete, better pay. Maybe also make it easier to gain AP points along the way to make hitting those higher levels a bit more easily. As it is now, you only get those points for completing matches, some more points if you win, and also if you land on it with the wheel in the spectator booth. I think you should also get AP for destroying your opponents in matches, landing stunt flips, and if a mode has rounds, you should get some AP after each round. Losing team gets half of what the winning team gets, so in the arena instead of RP for those things, it's just AP. These could also get multiplied depending on your arena skill level, which is separate from the AP levels. The arena skill level system as it stands is just absolutely nonsensical, and I will never understand who or how it got approved, but here we are. My idea is that no longer will your skill levels start going down if you lose or are on a terrible team, but will instead just not go higher if you happen to take the L. Your skill rank will instead depend on total wins throughout your Arena War career. We can keep all 20 rankings. I think a good way to go about it would be maybe one skill level rank every 25 victories. So you'd have to win 500 times in your career to earn the Arena Legend rank. This allows the people who really love the mode to try and achieve something without having a friend boost it for you. It'd be okay to lose, but we all know it's much more fun to win. With these changes, unlocking things could be a whole lot more fun. Speaking of fun, randomly unlocking something crappy at a lower price definitely is not on that list. But if unlocking something completely at random absolutely needs to be in there is a solution. So, earlier I mentioned that AP ranks 1 through 12 would be all vehicles. All the remaining AP ranks after 12 should have a type of small cash bonus upon reaching the next level, but also those closing unlocks should just be added to the wardrobe for free. Nobody really wears them, and they were no way going to pay the prices that Rockstar had set on it. Just have them be available in the store at their unlocked trade prices, and if you randomly get that one item while ranking up from 13 to 1000, it's free. That's it. The fixes I've suggested here should be easy to do on Rockstar's end without breaking anything. This could bring life back to the update that had so much potential to be amazing. Hopefully, it can happen. I wouldn't doubt that the team that worked on the coding for this update is long gone though. I know, it's very wishful thinking, and even I would bet against them fixing it like this or even at all, but wouldn't it be cool? If not here, then hopefully a new stadium type game mode in GTA 6 could work like this. It's simple, efficient, balanced, and rewarding. In the meantime, we the GTA community can still make some wildly fun Arena War races and death matches with the content creator ourselves. They may not help your ranking within the arena, but they most certainly can be a heck of a lot of fun. Maybe if we collectively make some noise with it and can hold Arena War tournaments or something, we could use that great competitive atmosphere and presentation given to us from the update to our advantage. I've actually started making some content myself that can be found on the Rockstar Social Club website. I'd like it if you guys could give them a try sometime with your friends. Well, that's my personal assessment on how this mode can be fixed. If you made it all the way here to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for watching and hearing me out. If you can, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. There is also a link to my Twitch in the description down below if you'd like to drop in and hang out with me sometime, or just come by and say hi. Till next time, this is gtavfather signing off.